Got to hold a little while longer. So very soon. Ooh, yeah. Now we have read that faith without works is dead. Gotta choose the Lord today, for tomorrow may be too late. What you reap is what you sow. What you're a part of is what you chose, yeah. So at times you may fall. Just get back up. 'Cause there's no mountain high enough. When the tears start to fall, and persecution starts to reign, and when you can't see your way, change your way, change your way. You gotta hold a little while longer.
Now today we're going to get right to the lesson. You know, nowadays everybody is talking about going to heaven, and everybody is talking about the rapture. And I'm going to show you, sisters and brothers, nobody's going no place. Now, if you are informed and you know what is going on, I don't care where you are in the world. If you know the signs, the Lord will give you the transportation that you need to get you to the wilderness, because that is going to be the only place that you're going to have safety. And that's why the Lord calls me to title this, The Wilderness, the place of safety during the Great Tribulation. The wilderness, the place of safety during the Great Tribulation. So a lot of people, Lord, you know, it is even written in the book, in the Bible, sister and brother, that a lot of ministers are going to be attacked by their own members. A lot of them going to be wounded. A lot of them going to be trying to kill them. And the reason it is because they said, you should have warned us about this. But then a lot of the members are guilty too, because this book is still written in your language and you can read it. And this book is written in every language, because the Lord God is the one that created all the languages. It's not something that they just stumble around and come up with. At the Tower of Babel, when the people scattered, they had a distinct language, because God gave everybody a language. That's why he even said about Israel, speaking to Israel, he said, with a stammering lip and another tongue will I speak to this people, because he knew his people was going to be thrown into captivity, and whatever language they found them, a nation they found themselves in, that was the language they were going to speak. That's why I find it odd about a lot of the Israelite brothers talking about if you can't call a God in a certain name, you ain't serving God. I said, no, you ain't paying no attention. But anyway, that's going to come a time of great tribulation on this earth, sisters and brothers. And it's going to be a terrible time. It's going to be a time that you can have a pocket full of money, but if you don't have the mark of the beast on you, you can't even buy a hot dog. It's going to be a time when just talking any kind of truth could be detrimental to your health. But if you are a servant of God, and you are doing what thus said the Lord, and you have been informed in his word, that time don't bother you. You know why? Because you're going to be in a place of safety, sisters and brothers. And the Lord says he's going to get you there, and ain't nobody going to lay a finger on you. So we're going to deal with this. Let's start in Matthew, the 24th chapter. Because a lot of people are going to be upset when a lot of drummers start to come on this world, because the Lord talking about this great tribulation. He said a time of trouble like there have never been before, been from the creation, and there shall never be again. This is going to be a terrible time. And if you are not prepared, you're going to get caught up in it. You're going to end up with a mark on your forehead and in your right hand. And when the Lord comes, you are finished. It's all that simple. It is scary to be ignorant, sisters and brothers. Believe me. And there's no need for it. Because even if you go into a church, sisters and brothers, and they're not teaching the truth, you read this Bible. Can't nobody in here tell me that whatever church you come out of, you listen to the preacher, and you read, and you found something that you had some suspicions about. I mean everybody. Because the Lord is a fair God. He knows that, hey, if you're under nothing but foolishness, he put that book out there so you can look into it. They say, wait a minute, Pastor, it's so-and-so, and then he get to the point he don't want to answer your question, then you know that it's time to move on. No matter where you come from, you have looked in this Bible and found that there was something that somebody was not telling you. And I'm going to tell you something. If you think that you are going to heaven and going to get raptured off, you better understand this. Because now you got some ministers that have come into the Great Tribulation. Now they're trying to tell the people, well, look here. Well, you know, the Lord is going to take the church just before the Great Tribulation. Tell them to read that to you. Now let's start this, and we're going to find out what's really going to happen, and we're going to let you know where you're going. And we know exactly where to go. That's why I have this map up here, sisters and brothers. I know everybody can't see it, but when it's over with, you can come look at it. And this same map, you find out all you have to do is find the travels of Israel, because the Lord is going to do it exactly the same way. Only difference is it's going to be worldwide. Now we're going to start at 24:1. Matthew 24:1. Go ahead.
And Jesus went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. And Jesus said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down.
Now that prophecy have been fulfilled. You don't have one stone over there left of the temple, sisters and brothers. On the site. People talk about this Wailing Wall. They ain't got nothing to do with the Lord's temple. Go ahead and read.
And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be?
Go ahead.
And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world?
Now these are specific questions, sisters and brothers. So they want to know, when is the temple going to be destroyed? When are you coming? And when is the end of the world going to come? That's as we know it, sisters and brothers, because the Bible tells you that the earth was created to abide forever. Go ahead and read.
And Jesus answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you.
That's the first thing he did. Take heed that no man deceive you. And this is the very thing that nobody pays attention to. Go ahead and read.
For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many.
He warned you about the greatest name used under the sun, which is Jesus, sisters and brothers. So many going to come in my name, saying that I am Christ. Jesus is telling you, many going to come telling you that I, Jesus, am the anointed one. But then they're going to go on with their own doctrine. That's where the deception come in. That's where the deception. You know, like we used to do when I was young. You get about $40 worth of $1 bills and wrap a 50 around it. And you got paper inside the $1 bill, and you pull it up, peel off a dollar. They're looking at that 50. They think you got a lot of money. Deception.
That's right.
3-card money. So I'm going to use the name, but I'm going to deceive many. And ain't nobody paid this no attention, sisters and brothers. Skip down to verse 15. Verse 15. Verse 15, and go ahead.
When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place, whoso readeth, let him understand.
Now, so Lord gave you a specific sign of his coming and the end of the world as you know it. He said, when you therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel's the prophet, whoso readeth, let him understand. Now, people tell you, well, we're New Testament Christians. See, we don't read that Old Testament. I know people that ask something and I go in the old to all, I don't want to hear that. Well, if Jesus told you to look for one spoken of by Daniel the prophet, and if you don't read the Old Testament, sisters and brothers, you will never see who he is talking about. If Jesus can refer you to the Old Testament, who is it that can tell you that it's no good? See, this is what you got to look. This is Jesus asking this question here. He said, when you therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, whoso read it, let him understand. Go ahead and read.
16. Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains.
Now let them that be in Judea flee unto the mountain. But I'm going to show you it's from all over the world, sister and brother. But you got people right there in Judea. That's Jerusalem. Jerusalem is just a part of Judea. That whole area they call it, cut it up now. He said, if you are there, you better flee to the mountain. Because there's going to be some big drama coming down. I mean, big drama. Skip down to verse 21. Why is that? Go ahead.
For there shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be.
Now look, he's going to be in great tribulation so bad until it has never been since the world have been in existence, and there ain't going to never be a time after. Now you notice Jesus said flee. He didn't say, oh, my saints and my servant, don't worry about it, I'm going to take y'all up off the earth.
That's right.
He said flee. Go ahead and read.
And except those days shall be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved.
They didn't have a weapon to kill all flesh in them days, sister and brother. So the Lord know he got to intervene. But go ahead and read.
But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. The Lord is going to have to deal with this, sister and brother, because if he didn't shorten it then, he may as well stay on in heaven. Wouldn't be nothing left. Nothing at all. What verse was that?
That was the end of 22.
Go ahead and read.
23. Then if any man shall say unto you, lo, here is Christ, or there, believe it not. For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that, if it was possible, they shall deceive the very elect.
So now, somebody going to tell you that the Lord is back now. He said, if it was possible, they would deceive the very elect. But it's not possible to deceive the very elect. You know why? Because the very elect are the people that know what's going on. You got some understanding. I read that to let you know one thing, that if the very elect have to flee, if they have to flee, then who are you? You understand what I'm saying? You didn't say just the elect.
That's right.
The very elect. Can't deceive the very elect. Because when they build a temple in Jerusalem, we know it. It's about time. When they declare that the Pope is going to leave Rome and go and set up in the temple in Jerusalem, we know that. You understand? When Western Europe started to assault Eastern Europe, people think Russia and all of them are going to jump to West. No, the West going to jump to the East and start using chemical and warfare. We said, it's on now. Now we looking around. You know what we're looking for? Transportation to the wilderness. It's going to be there. Now let's go into Daniel the 7th chapter, because the Lord spoke of him, didn't it?
That's right.
Daniel the 7th chapter. That's why I tell people all the time, I said, Jesus refer you to the Old Testament. How is it that you're going to let some minister tell you that you don't have to go there? You say you're a Christian? Well, listen what Christ said. Daniel 7 and verse 1. Daniel 7 and 1. See, because God is dealing with people here. See, you go to church, you think God don't deal with people. All he dealing with some kind of spirit, and I guess we a bunch of spirits too. You understand? But go ahead.
In the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon.
Let me take a break here. Ursha, let them set what they want. Okay? First year of Belshazzar, what happened?
King of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head upon his bed. Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters.
Now, Daniel had a dream. And the Lord gave him this because he wanted us to know about this, so he wrote it down. Go ahead and read.
Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of the heavens strove upon the great sea.
Go ahead.
And four great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another.
See, this is what inspired this book the Lord called me to write, called The Four Winds of Heaven. Because these are great nations. There's four great beasts. Rose up one, all different from the other. Now, we're not going to deal with that today. We're dealing with what they're going to do and what you have to do. Skip down to verse 19. Verse 19. Go ahead.
Then I would know the truth of the fourth beast, which was diverse from all the others, exceeding dreadful, whose teeth were of iron and his nails of brass, which devoured, brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with his feet.
So now Daniel wanted to know about the fourth beast. See, the first beast he saw was the Babylonian Empire, sisters and brothers. Second beast he saw that come up is the Medo-Persian Empire. The third one was the Greek Empire, and the fourth one was the Roman Empire. And this Roman Empire was worse than all of them. In fact, the Roman Empire was so bad until the Lord didn't have an animal in his whole creation to define the Roman Empire. Because the Roman Empire destroyed you physically, and they'll steal with you. Everything you call Christian right now today come from Rome. So he said, I want to know about this fourth beast. Skip down to verse 23. Verse 23, and go ahead.
Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces.
Now, if you look at your history books, you will find out that there are a lot of great civilizations, but only 4 kingdoms rule the whole world. So this fourth one, he's going to tread the earth down and break it into pieces, the whole earth. Go ahead and read.
And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall rise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings.
Now this is letting you know that Rome is to rise and fall 10 times. But you got another horn, the one that's going over as the holy person. He dealt with 3 of them horns because they wouldn't go with it. But then that's another lesson. And then he's the one that started the big talk, blaspheming God. Go ahead and read.
And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High.
That's this little horn, the religious horn. He's going to speak great words against the Most High, and he's going to wear out the saints of the Most High. That's what I tell people now. I'm talking about when he said the saints, he's talking about the real people. These are people that should be in the wilderness, but they just had one block short. Something they didn't believe. Well, I hate to leave my house. I hate to leave my job. Or either my children won't go with me. Oh, I got to stay here because my parents are old. You tell mom and daddy, get the walking cane.
That's right.
And the wheelchair and come on. Because if you don't, I can't help you. See, this is what I'm saying. This is the attitude you got to get. When everybody's drowning and you can't swim, I don't care who it is. Can you help them?
That's right. Right.
This is the time you got to go. So this guy is going to speak great words against the Most High, and he's going to wear out the saints. The Lord going to let this man and this organization whoop everybody that's not in place of safety. I don't care how holy you are. Go ahead and read.
And think to change times and laws.
Done that already. Go ahead.
And they shall be given into his hand until a time and time.
Go ahead.
And the dividing of time.
That's 3.5 years, sisters and brothers. You're going to have to contend with this man. Time is 1 year. Times with the S, time plural, that's 2 more years, that's 3. And a divide, that's half a year, that's 6 months. You're going to have to deal with this guy. Go ahead and read.
But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion to consume and to destroy it until the end.
Now he's going to be here until the Lord comes. And the Lord is going to take away his dominion. And he's going to destroy him and his organization. Go ahead and read.
27. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High,
Go ahead.
whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominion shall serve and obey him.
Now, if it was time to go to heaven, shouldn't this have been here?
That's right.
But he said, look, and the kingdom and dominion and the greatness and of the kingdom under the whole heaven going to be given to the people of the saints of the Most High. Saints ain't going nowhere. Only place you will go is the place of safety if you are informed. If you're not informed, you're going to go into the furnace of fire. And you're going to have to really stand up and be what you're supposed to be. Because you're going to be sorely tested, sister and brother.
Right.
Sorely tested. That's why if you don't think you're very, very strong, then that means you better get real smart. So you don't have to deal with this. But Daniel's warned you about this guy, didn't he?
Right.
Because Jesus said, now I want you to go now and look, read about the guy that Daniel's warned you about. Because this is the guy that's going to bring some real drama on this earth. And he's going to really have an end for the saints. Now let's go in the 11th chapter of Romans. Revelation, rather. Revelation 11th chapter. I mean, he's going to really have an end for the saints. Got an end for the saints now, but he don't have the power to do nothing about it. Mm-hmm. But the day going to come when he going to have it. See, people do not understand the church, sisters and brothers. I'm talking about that church in Rome over there. You don't understand about the Holy Inquisitions. You understand? I'm talking about they killed people. They killed, destroyed nations and villages and townships in the name of the Lord. See, but being that we don't read and we are not informed, we think they're all holy and clean and garnished. I'm going to tell you something. They kill more people in the name of the Lord than the hoodlums in the streets kill. Revelation 11:1. Go ahead and read.
And there was given me a reed like unto a rod. And the angel stood, saying, Rise,
go ahead,
and measure the temple of God and the altar, and them that worship therein.
Now that's the temple that Jesus is going to set in, but he's going to say, but this courtway he's going to leave out. You know why? Because that's what the Gentile going to be. That's what this so-called holy person is going to set up. Read the next verse. Go ahead.
But the court which is without the temple leave out, and measure it not.
Go ahead.
For it is given unto the Gentiles, and the holy city shall they tread underfoot 42 months.
He says, so don't measure this. They're going to build a temple in Jerusalem, sister and brother, but it's going to be in the courtway of the temple, not on the spot. And when they move this guy from Rome and he's set up in there, he is going to be there for 3.5 years. Times and a half a time, or either 42 months. The Lord letting you know it's 3.5 years. He let you know all over because you got people that's teaching us a 7-year tribulation. That is directly from Satan, sisters and brothers.
Right.
Because he's telling you, when you see the abomination of desolation stand in the holy place, you got 3.5 years before you have to run. It's too late then. That's why you're the very elect, because you are informed. Now let's look at this guy come up on the earth in his final form. Let's go into Revelation, the 13th chapter. Revelation, the 13th chapter. Because just want to let you know the Lord have had Daniel tell you, and John is piggybacking on it. I let you understand this is some terrible time. And if you're in the wrong place, you got your problem. Revelation 13:1. Go ahead.
And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea,
go ahead,
having 7 heads and 10 horns.
Now look, this is the same resurrection of the old Babylonian Empire or either the old Roman Empire. Same characteristics, 7 heads. The Babylonian was 1 head. The Medo-Persian 1 head. The Greeks had 4 heads because they took over after Alexander and split the Greek nation up into 4 parts. And then you had the Romans with 1 head. So you had 7 heads and 10 horns. The 7 heads are the foundation that this common market is growing out of. And the 10 horns represent the Roman Empire, sisters and brothers. Our European economic community over here. Go ahead and read.
And upon his horns 10 crowns.
And each one of these guys are rulers. France is not going to give up the prime minister of France is not going to give up his prime ministership. The president of England ain't going to give it up. The king of Spain is not going to give it up. But all these people going to get this one man some power, even though they're going to rule their own nation, but they're going to make him a ruler over them. That's why I said each horn had a crown. Each one was a ruler. Go ahead and read.
And upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. Now, as you look at all these 4 beasts that come up early, you'll find out that this is one beast have the characteristics of all of them. The Babylonian Empire, Medo-Persian Empire, the Greek Empire, and the Roman Empire.
And where did he get his power from? Satan the devil, sisters and brothers. That's why everything that he put out is contrary to God. God said the seventh day is my Sabbath of rest. He said, well, the first day is the Christian Sabbath day. God said, I'm going to set the kingdom on earth. He said, no, you going to heaven. And I can go on and on and on, sisters and brothers. Go ahead and read.
3. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed.
And we look at that same head, that Roman head. It's been restored now. It's called the EU, European Economic Union. The church is supposed to look at this. I mean, everybody in church is supposed to be looking at this here with great anticipation, but ain't nobody looking at it. All day tomorrow, they're going to be jumping and shouting and screaming and moaning and full of something. But I know it's not the Holy Ghost. You know why? Because the Bible tells you that the Spirit that He's going to send, which is the Holy Ghost, is going to lead and guide you into all truth. So I know I'm not just making a statement. People sometimes think I be throwing stone and making a loose accusation. I don't. Everything I say, I mean to teach. You full of the Spirit, you're supposed to know something. Because that's the only reason the Lord said He's going to send Him. He's going to lead and guide you into all truth. How absolute is all? So He's telling you, sisters and brothers, you better look, because there's somebody going to come up and they're going to get Satan's powers. How do you know they got Satan's power? Because they're contrary to everything God said do. Telling you don't even have to keep the commandments. And that is the covenant.
That's right.
Go ahead and read.
And all the world wondered after the beast.
All the world wondered after the beast. They still wondering after him. Go ahead and read.
And they worshiped the dragon which gave power unto the beast.
If you worship the one that in whose seat he's sitting, then you worship him, don't you?
That's right.
Go ahead and read. That's what Paul said, and ain't nobody paid no attention to Paul.
That's right.
He said, the Gentiles worship devils. And the only one that don't worship devils, sisters and brothers, the one that found out about this truth and started dealing with the true and living God. And he said, you cannot partake of the table of God and the table of Satan.
Right. That's right.
Adam found that out. Adam and Eve found that out.
That's right.
Because once they went over there and ate of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, then God said, look, so this man has become as one of us to know good and evil. Let us put him out of the garden, lest he reach forth his hand and eat of the tree of life and live forever, and threw him out.
That's right.
Because you cannot eat of the table of Satan and God's table too.
That's right.
But if you don't have no knowledge, you don't know whose table you eating at.
That is true.
But if you know where you eating, then you are a part of the very elect. But go ahead and read.
And they worshiped the beast, saying, who was likened to the beast?
Go ahead.
Who was able to make war with him? And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies.
Now, they're going to be talking big, and this holy man is going to be talking all this stuff, and these armies are going to be at his beck and call. Go ahead and read.
And power was given unto him to continue 42 months.
We consistent, ain't we? 3.5 years, not 7. Go ahead and read.
And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God to blaspheme his name.
Go ahead.
And his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven.
Go ahead.
And it was given unto him to make war with the saints.
You see what he got one thing, though. He blaspheming God, but as long as you got the saints here that's telling the truth, they are a pain to him. You know how it is when you're a big liar, last thing you want is the truth teller to walk in the room. So what you're going to do is you're going to try to exterminate the truth teller so you can perpetuate your lie. So he going to make war with the saints. Read that verse back at the top. Go ahead.
And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them.
Go ahead.
And power was given to him over all kindreds and tongues and nations.
Now, sisters and brothers, that's why you have to find out about the place of safety. Because outside of the place of safety, it said this guy going to make war with the saints, and power was given him to overcome them. God gave him this power. See, because he got to get this world's attention. The world went so raunchy and filthy until conversation ain't going to help it no more. Only drama is going to help it. Only drama. There's going to be a lot of killing, ugly killing, a lot of starvation, a lot of suffering. Then somebody going to understand what the book said when it said, suffer little children, come unto me. Because that's the only way you're going to come. People don't pay no attention to what the Lord is saying, sister.
Right.
So now, during that 3.5 years, this guy is going to be wreaking havoc all over the world. And if you are a saint, that's one of us that really know the truth and try to tell somebody, it's going to be hunting season for you. You're going to be like a rabbit in hunting season, sister and brother. Everybody going to be gunning for you. But if you are really an informed saint, God got something for you. Let's back up the 12th chapter of Revelation. 12th chapter of Revelation. Because it's all started with Israel, even the church is Israel. Even if a stranger is become a part of the church, they still have to become a part of the commonwealth of Israel. So when the Lord even had Paul write, all Israel is going to be saved, I know better. But he's talking about all spiritual Israel, whether they physical or Gentile or stranger. If they are spiritual Israel, let's see if they keep all the laws and get themselves under God's covenant and keep what he said keep, then that's Israel. Remember, we are adopted. So when you talk about this woman, let's talk about Israel and everybody that's become a part of the commonwealth of Israel. 12:1, go ahead.
And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars.
Now, that woman represents Israel. The 12 stars represent the 12 tribes of Israel, sister and brother. The woman represents the mother of Israel, and the moon represents the father, which is Jacob. Go ahead and read.
And she being with child cried, travailing in birth, and pain to be delivered.
Go ahead.
And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his head.
Go ahead.
And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth.
Now you saw this woman that was pregnant, and she was trying to deliver. And you saw the dragon showed up. But when did he show up? He showed up in the form of the Gentile nation. That's why it says 7 heads and 10 horns. What nation did he show up this time in the form of the Roman Empire?
Right.
And what did this dragon do? Go ahead and read.
And the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born.
Look, it was an important child. What?
That's right.
The dragon was trying to stop this child. As soon as it was born, go ahead and read.
And she brought forth the man-child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. And her child was caught up unto God and to his throne.
Now, he didn't say she brought forth a man-child, which is to rapture everybody off the earth. So which is to rule all nations with the rod of iron, sisters and brothers. Because the woman is Jesus, is Israel. And the man-child is Jesus, sisters and brothers. This is what really gets me. You get all these Christians, but then they turn around and say the Lord didn't cut the Jews off. Or either the Lord didn't cast the Jews away. How is it the creator, maker, the high priest, and the future king of Israel are going to cast his people to the side? That lets you know how uninformed people are, sisters and brothers. They simply don't know. And some of them refuse to learn, but they're going to wish they had. So she brought forth a man-child, which was to rule the whole earth with a rod of iron. What happened to him? Go ahead.
And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she has a place prepared of God, that they should feed her there 1,260 days.
Now, how many days is that, sister and brother?
3.5 years.
3.5 years. Nothing has changed. The Lord have it all in order. Because that wilderness is the place where you got to go, sisters and brothers. 3.5 years. See, the man-child. See, this is the long prophecy here. Jesus came in his time. He died, rose, and went back to heaven. This is long prophecy. Now, it jumped way down to the Great Tribulation, sisters and brothers. And just prior to the Great Tribulation, this woman, this is the church, this is Israel. Whether physical or spiritual, but this is Israel, because Israel is the church, the only church. There's no church before it, and there shall be none after. So if you want to be a part of the church, you have to become a part of the commonwealth of Israel, sisters and brothers. That's simple. So anyway, she fled into the wilderness where she's going to be there for 3.5 years. Why 3.5 years? Because that's the time of the Great Tribulation. Everything coincides. It didn't say she's going to be there for 7 years.
That's right. 3.5.
Now let's go and see what's going to happen when you make it to that wilderness. Let's go into the 91st chapter of Psalm. Psalm chapter 91. So the Lord have no intention of taking you off the earth, sister and brother. The only time you're going to leave this earth, and that is to meet the Lord in the air. Then you're coming right back here. He ain't got to take you from nowhere. Satan's servant are playing with themselves, thinking they so powerful that the Lord got to steal you off the earth. No, he's going to come here and he's going to take it by force. Mm-hmm. We got a lesson to show you that.
That's right.
The Lord can get real ugly. I can show you. He gets ugly a whole lot. And when he get ugly, you die by the groves. That's all that simple. He have so many ways to kill you until you can't even write them down. Psalm 91. Let's start at verse 1. 91 and 1. Go ahead and read.
He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty.
And that's where we're going to be. Secret place of the Most High. It's a secret to everybody. We know about it. I'm going to show you that we know about it. But to everybody else, they don't know about it. But you're going to be under the shadow of the Most High. Go ahead and read.
I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in him will I trust.
Go ahead.
Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence.
Go ahead.
He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler.
See, look, he's going to deliver you. And he's going to cover you with his shame on his wing. But what is it that's going to save you? He said his truth is going to be your shield and buckler.
That's right.
You're going to know the truth. You're going to know when to go. You're going to recognize the transportation. You don't have to have money. You don't have to have a passport. All you have to know is the truth.
That's right.
That's going to be your shield and buckler. Go ahead and read.
Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day.
Go ahead.
Nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday.
That's a whole lot of killing, ain't it? Mm-hmm. Go ahead and read.
1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand. But it shall not come nigh thee.
Ain't that something? So 1,000 going to fall on your side. 10,000 at your right hand, but ain't none of it going to come near you. None of it. Go ahead and read.
Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked.
So you're going to look out there and see what happened to the wicked. All these people that kicked and talk about you and call you cuss and you crazy, that's going to be laughing when you leaving your houses and your cars and getting on that boat or a plane. Oh, look at them. Ha, ha, ha. We heard about somebody was talking about the rapture some years back. They still here. Talking about some of these false prophets that we just heard that's supposed to be getting you up off this earth. But you ain't going to say nothing while they're laughing. You're going to be getting on that plane. Because you're going to know what you're doing. Then when the drummer stops, you in the wilderness, the Lord said you're going to be able to see all of that. Go ahead and read.
9. Because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High thy habitation. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. For he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways.
Look, because you trusted in the Lord and roll with him instead of the world, he said ain't no evil going to come near you.
Right.
None of your dwelling, because he is going to give his angel charge over you, and he going to keep you in the way. Sister and brother, you won't be able to put air by them angels. I mean, not one arrow. But the Lord always sent his angels to keep his people in the way.